Wow.
You've literally just confirmed by saying I've got footage of that offence happening, a public order offence.
Okay.
Haven't you? You've just said...
Welcome to Noxium, where police power meets public accountability.
This episode is brought to us by Bayer Britain Audits. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. What begins with Bayer Britain Audits standing in public with a camera quickly escalates once warehouse staff decide they do not like being filmed. Instead of simply ignoring it or checking the facts, the response jumps straight to insults and a call to the police, turning a harmless situation into unnecessary drama. When officers arrive, the tone is already set. Not curiosity or neutrality, but the assumption that something unlawful must be taking place. Before any proper explanation is established, the interaction begins.
You tell me, we have a chat.
Yeah, we can have a chat here, can't we?
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. So all I've done today is make some video footage, and I've stuck to everywhere that I'm allowed, apart from apparently Amazon, where I wasn't allowed to step on their site.
And who's allowed you permission on the site?
No one's allowed me permission. This is all public, bro. Don't treat me like I'm silly. Yeah, I do this a lot.
You just said...
Again, identify for me as well, please.
Before
you do. You do. Okay, what's yours as well, please?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you told me that your body-worn camera's on? No, you haven't. That's part of your policy. You can clearly see that I'm filming, bro.
Okay, and you can clearly see that that's...
No, I can now.
I don't have to notify you.
You do. It's part of your policy.
No, it's not.
It's part of your policy. This has been proven before that it's part of your policy.
Stop. You just stated that you have been allowed... No,
I don't have to stop.
I'm trying to ascertain what's happening.
I don't have to... Listen, bro, I don't want to interrupt you, but to be honest, I don't want to speak to you, yeah? I'm going about doing my civil right. I'm allowed to go around and film in public areas.
Allowed. Who has allowed you?
My rights as a human being in this country.
And they have a right to know who is filming or taking photographic images of the building.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
What stands out here is the confidence with which the officer gets the basics wrong. He speaks as though Bayer Britain requires permission to film, even though filming from a public place is protected under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act 1998, which safeguards the right to gather and share information. At the same time, he dismisses his own body-worn video, BWV, policy, even though most UK police forces require officers to make people aware when BWV is recording, where practicable in the interest of transparency. So, in a single breath, he shrugs off a rule that applies to him while attempting to impose a restriction that does not exist for the public. That contradiction speaks volumes about the approach being taken.
My way to taking someone to professional standards for exactly the same thing. Okay. Trying to trump up charges that aren't there. Yeah, which is... No, listen. No, I'm not saying that you are. You're trying to tell me, though...
You're not telling me what has happened. You're just saying you're doing your civil right. Doing what? Taking images.
Filming the building. What, the building. Amazon, look at this place. It's huge.
I know it's huge, but why? What's the reason why?
Because I like to. I don't have to tell you that.
No, I'm just trying to understand why.
But I know, but I'm going to stick to it. I don't have to tell you that. And that's, you can say that being as awkward. How am I supposed to ascertain what's happening? You don't have to ascertain anything until I've committed the broken... I've had an incident that's been called... Have I committed an illegal offence?
Well, as far what we've heard on the call is that there's been swearing and shouting, so I need to know who that's been coming from.
Those down there, and the video's got it to prove it.
Right, and can you show me that?
Yes, I can.
Because if you're involved in that and you've been shouting and swearing, that is an offence. That is something I need to ascertain what has happened.
Of course. Hey, you know this camera? You see this camera? It's an independent witness. Yeah, so that's another reason I can film, because when stuff like this happens, when people try and say stuff happened that didn't happen, we can now go back to this footage and see, can't we?
What we've heard on the call is that there's been lots of shouting and swearing going on.
Right,
so we need to ascertain what that's in relation to. So if people, that's called public order, that is an offence, yeah? And I'm here to try and ascertain what has happened.
The officer now attempts to reframe his approach as simply trying to establish what has happened. But that explanation does not really stand up when you look at how the interaction actually began. There was no neutral fact-finding, only immediate assumptions and accusations, including claims that Bayer Britain had been swearing, something the footage clearly disproves. This is precisely why recording these encounters matters. When allegations appear out of thin air, the camera becomes the only thing separating someone from an officer's version of events. Without it, the situation could easily shift from a conversation into an accusation that the person on the receiving end would have little ability to challenge.
You're not being very forthright with me, and I understand why, because
I don't have to. Because I don't have to.
No, but I have to ascertain what's happened.
Yeah, but I don't have to still tell you, bro. This is what I'm like, until I commit an offence.
Okay.
Yeah? And you're saying a public order offence, yeah?
An offence has been committed.
Where is the person that feels harassed, alarmed and distressed? Where are they? Who are they? You have to have a complainant. Where's the complainant?
No, it doesn't.
Where's the complainant?
No, it has to be an assumed person.
Okay, so
reasonable firmness. You think you know your legislation, but if you do, then
that's all you guys want to deal with is legislation. What about what you swore to when you took up your job? Wasn't that under common law? Most of that's under common law, isn't it?
Wasn't under common law.
I don't care. You guys still swear by it.
Of legislation.
I know
that. Swear by common law. There are other pieces of legislation that we swear by.
Okay.
I'm still trying to ascertain what has happened. Now, what I'm saying.
And I've told you what's happened is I've done some filming and they haven't liked it.
And I'm telling you, we are aware that a public order incident has taken place.
No, how are you then? So who was it by?
So I don't know that. I'm trying to ascertain that from yourself. You were reported to be involved. I've come here. I'm trying to ask you what has happened. Now,
so how do you know that one's taken place? If you don't know who done it,
we can hear it on the call.
No one at the time, and that you're now lying. You're lying because I was filming at the time when that call apparently would have come through.
You've just said on your camera.
Yeah, I've caught that I haven't. No, it would have been them because it hasn't come from me. So if there is swearing on this footage, it's going to come from them. It won't be coming from me.
Once the officer leans into a public order allegation, the cracks begin to show almost immediately. Bear Britain asks the obvious question, who exactly was caused harassment, alarm or distress? Because offences under the Public Order Act depend on that impact actually existing. Instead of identifying anyone who was affected, the officer dismisses the point and claims that a complainant is not required, while accusing Bear Britain of not understanding the law. That is a strange position to take when the threshold for those offences is clearly tied to the effect on others. The argument becomes even weaker when the officer begins insisting he heard swearing during the call to the police, something the recording directly contradicts. Moments like this highlight why evidence matters. Without the footage, an unsupported claim could easily become the basis for enforcement.
That.
Okay,
You're not showing me
and even this footage now, I don't have to, but I will, just because I can't wait to prove you wrong.
Showing me anything to the contrary.
Okay. Also, I want to know that hang on, before I show you anything,
public order offence has been committed.
Right.
You can hear it on the phone call. Swearing and stuff is taking place in public. Now you're saying you can prove that it's not you because you have video.
And if it proves that it's them, are you going to go and deal with that?
I'm going to go have a chat with them afterwards.
Straight up, because I'll be following you to make sure that you do follow it up. Because I know how this works. If I'm swearing in here, you're going to deal with that. But if it comes back that they're swearing in it, you won't deal with that. I ain't stupid. To be honest, I want to go about my business. Am I detained? Am I detained? Am I detained?
I just need to know what's happening.
Yeah, and I'm asking, am I detained? So I'm free to go. Am I free to go?
Well, I need to confirm your identity. So
you don't need to confirm my identity. I don't have to give it you till an offence has been committed. I do not have to give it you.
Has been committed.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. You turning up and saying an offence has been committed doesn't mean one's been
committed.
No, it hasn't.
It's been committed, and you've just confirmed it by saying you've got footage of it on your phone.
Oh wow!
You've literally just confirmed by saying I've got footage of that offence happening, a public order offence.
Okay.
Haven't you? You've just said that.
Okay.
Bear Britain asked the key question. Is he actually detained? And instead of giving a clear legal answer, the officer falls back on personal judgment, saying he isn't happy to let him go. That's not how police powers work. An officer's feelings or suspicions alone don't create authority to hold someone. Then the reasoning shifts again to identity with demands for his details so they can confirm who he is. But that only makes sense where a lawful power exists to require it. Usually linked to a specific offence or arrestable situation. Here the officer is effectively working backwards, assuming an offence must have happened and trying to use identity as a tool to make the situation fit that belief. Before we carry on, there's something I've been building over the past few months with a small team. It's called Under What? Because whether people like it or not, the legal landscape in this country is changing. Powers are wide. Enforcement is active. New laws come in quickly. And most people only realise what they don't know when they're already in the situation. Under What is built, so you understand the system you live under at all times. Inside, there are over 100 fully interactive legal guides, not just reading. You make decisions and see how those decisions affect your legal safety, escalation risk, and evidence position. StopBot is built into the platform, a policing-focused AI designed specifically around UK law. It breaks down powers and thresholds clearly and in guide mode. It works like a teacher, expanding on the guides and reinforcing your understanding so you're not second-guessing yourself. There's a daily UK policing news feed focused on real activity, Incidents, operational shifts, crime, and within that exclusive deep dive articles from me breaking down police misconduct cases, upcoming legislation, and what it all actually means. And then there are the protection tools. A live drone safety map with NOTM awareness, a civil claim checker to assess potential liability, a police complaint generator, a SAR request builder, and more rolling out. This isn't built around outrage. It's built because policing in the UK is at an all-time low, and we need to stay informed, prepared, and protected. It launches soon at an affordable monthly price. If you want to see it properly when it goes live, the Underwatch channel is down below in the description.
What I meant in that is, the footage here will show that I didn't at any point swear. The guy started going crazy at me, and I did actually say to him, bro, what you're doing now is a public order offence.
So potentially,
that's what I said to him. So you probably heard me say that on the call.
I also need your details if you are the victim of the public order
offence. But I don't, public order offence. You think I'm going to have somebody in trouble for a public order offence? Come on, mate. Yeah.
It's just the issue becomes when you trespass, obviously that's a civil issue.
Of course.
And even more so if you're trying to get into buildings.
Of course.
So we just want to make sure that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. This guy seems to think he's going to... I don't know. You're not having my details. You're not having them. You're not having them. You might be able to take my mates.
To go over there and speak to them and take.
Don't. I've just told you I don't want you to.
Right, fine. On your way then.
If I'm free to go, I'm free to stay. So I won't be going nowhere, sir. So stop, trying to talk down to me.
Stand here pointing that in my face.
Well, then disappear. You're the one that's approached me today, not the other way round. I don't have to. I don't have to. It's a public place, and it's up to you to make privacy in a public place. So if you'd like to make privacy, then I suggest you maybe get in your 2 shiny cars with flashy lights, right, and have a conversation. But I will stay here for as long as I want. Listen, if you were to listen,
being fair with people. I've been fair with you.
I don't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You haven't been fair with me. This video will show that you haven't been fair with me. No, you haven't.
I've not been fair with you. I've just asked you nicely to go on your way.
No, on your way. I don't have to go on my way. But anyway, enjoy your day, mate.
I will.
Fantastic.
What truly exposes the situation is how quickly the entire premise collapses once the footage is checked. The allegation that triggered everything simply is not there. In that moment, the officer loses the only thing supporting his authority in the encounter. When the evidence contradicts the claim, the conversation should end immediately. Instead, there is still an attempt to keep the interaction alive by pressing for details that no longer have any relevance. It becomes the policing equivalent of refusing to let go of an argument that has already been settled. There is also an important principle at play. Police powers are not meant to survive on suspicion alone once the facts are known. Once the footage confirms that nothing happened, the legal basis for continuing the encounter disappears with it. So the ending becomes quite revealing. After all the confidence, the accusations, and the attempts to justify the confrontation, the officers eventually walk away with none of it standing up. The camera that was treated as the problem at the beginning ultimately becomes the very thing that resolves the entire encounter. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Bear Britain Audits. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some support. Thanks for watching.